So this creates a very interesting matchup. Both players are playing mana in their dredge decks.
Okay.
So this actually is a near mirror match.
Yeah, the lists look very similar.
What is it? Andrew Johnson is running Flayer of the Hatebound in his deck.
I like that kill.
Yeah, which Harrison is not running.
Is he playing any fast kill?
It does not look like Harrison has a fast kill.
Interesting. Normally they play, either Flayer or Flamekin Zealot, something like that.
Yeah, we don't see that. Now, what Harrison does have in his sideboard is a one-of from Innistrad. He's playing one Memories Journey in his sideboard, which is actually a pretty decent card in the mirror. That is if you recall, for 1 green, you can cast it out of your graveyard. It shuffles 3 cards from a graveyard into a deck. That would figure to be pretty good in the dredge mirror.
Absolutely.
Other than that, there are not too many cards that players board in the dredge mirrors.
Is there a fast kill in the sideboard?
He has Elesh Norn. Iona would be his fast kill against most decks. However, against another dredge deck, Iona's really not a fast kill.
Yeah, Elesh Norn would be more effective, actually. But still, not good against Flayer.
Elesh Norn's, it's okay against Flayer, right? Because the Flayer will only be a 2 when it enters the battlefield. I mean, it shrinks the power of everything. A 2 and then a 3. So actually, it ups the damage that Flayer does.
Yeah, it actually adds the damage of the Flayer individually, and only takes 2 off of the damage of the Grave Troll, which is almost always huge overkill anyway.
So Harrison, showing hand to the camera, looks like he has a pretty decent.
He really wants us to see this hand.
Okay, it's like he has a pretty good starting 7.
Yeah.
And one of the more broken ones. If I'm Andrew and my opponent's doing that in a feature match, I would be worried.
Yes.
Like, oh, great. He's either going to snap Mulligan or snap Keep.
Yeah. Well, if we are talking mulligans, Dredge is one of the decks that needs the fewest cards.
Yes, Dredge can win on a mulligan to 3 on turn 2.
Yeah, easily. It does it all the time. Because its cards in hand are not actually in the hand.
Right, what's most important is that they have a way to start the Dredge chain going.
Yep.
So you can see, things like, well, let's give an example of a good turn 1, a 3-card hand that can still get there on turn 1.
Something like Careful Study pitching Dredgers would be good. Careful Study or Faithless Looting, and then the next turn you can, do the same thing. Actually, the nuts is turn 1 Faithless Looting, pitch the Dredgers, Lion's Eye Diamond.
Right, and then
flash it back, start dredging right away.
Start dredging and just continue to go. And so that's
the turbo kill.
Yeah, land, Faithless Looting, Lion's Eye Diamond.
You can actually because you're discarding anyway. So you can go Lion's Eye Diamond, Faithless Looting on the stack, sack it, dredge on both sides of the Faithless Looting.
That's excellent. All right, so Andrew does have some hate of his own for the mirror. Here he has the turn 0 Leyline of the Void.
I guess we figured out why he was mulling so aggressively.
Yeah, so Harrison had that hand he was really happy with. I don't know if he is still happy with it.
Yeah, Leyline of the Void tends to do that in the Dredge Mirror. I've seen Dredge Mirrors come down to Stinkweed Imps and Narcomoebas being hard cast and attacking into each other. Of note,
Andrew didn't keep a land.
Right.
He just kept Leyline.
His 4 or 5 card hand was just a Leyline hand.
So when I said that these decks don't play by the rules of Magic, I really mean they're not playing by the rules of Magic. They're keeping hands. Harrison's not going to cast a spell. Andrew didn't pay mana for that enchantment and is keeping hands without a land in it. This is really a different game.
It is a wacky world in Dredge Land.
So, one of the questions is, what does Harrison do against the Leyline of the Void?
Draw a couple more lands and start attacking with Stinkweed Imps.
Yes, he can hardcast these Stinkweed Imps. The Iona was exiled recently. Harrison pitched that. He also, if he's boarded them in, has 4 Nature's Claims in his sideboard. Depending on, this is game 3, depending on how the game he lost went, he may or may not know that Andrew has Leyline of the Void.
Interestingly, Andrew has 3 Leyline of the Void.
Yeah. And Andrew still has yet to draw a land. He has a pair of Golgari Thugs.
All right.
But actually, this is good for Andrew because there's not a Leyline on Andrew. He's more than happy to have to discard.
Yes.
And he could actually win this game without ever drawing a land.
Absolutely. That is on the table.
It's City of Brass in play for Harrison, but he is now under the gun. Andrew's going to be doing things that are significantly less fair here.
You mean less fair than casting a 1/1 for 2 and taking 2 damage to do so?
Right. Yeah, both Harrison's lands hurting. He goes on to 18, and here starts the dredge chain. Andrew does not hit a dredger that time, dredges the Golgari Thug, and has to discard for the turn, and he'll discard it again.
Happily.
Harrison draws a...
Bridge from below, it looked like.
Yeah, another bridge from below. But he's going to start getting in for damage.
Yes.
And he'll cast Putrid Imp. I think Harrison is setting up here for what would happen if he draws a Nature's Claim.
Right. Then sort of try and go off in that one turn.
Right. But Harrison, both players know that Harrison has very few turns left in this game before Andrew's deck gets really out of control.
Yes. It is only a matter of time now. All right, we're going to be going over to Andrew's turn. Dredging,
and this time it hits Golgari Grave Troll, Flayer of the Hatebound.
All right.
Now both in the graveyard. So
starting next turn, it's Dredge 6 instead of Dredge 4.
Right.
And now that Andrew no longer needs the Golgari Thug, he can pitch the Dread Return.
Yep, that's the card you want in the graveyard. Doesn't really do much in the hand.
More Colosseums.
Yeah, all of Harrison's lands deal damage to him right now. While he's on the beatdown plan, he's having trouble racing himself.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, as Flayer the Hatebound kill does care about your life total to some degree.
So Harrison's going to cast Faithless Looting. He's still digging for that, probably that Nature's Claim. He does not hit it, though.
Looks like he does have all of the pieces he needs were he ever to draw a Nature's Claim. If it's even in his deck. We don't even know.
We don't know if he boarded it in. If he didn't board it in,
he's drawing near
well,
dead.
He probably would have cast the Stinkweed Imp there if he doesn't have them in his deck.
True. All right, Dredge 6 now.
Second Flayer of the Hatebound now in the graveyard. Still, now because because Andrew's dredging every turn, he's actually not going to get a land at any point in this game.
Right. Now he just needs to hit Icarids and Narcomoebas.
Yeah, cards that put creatures on the battlefield. And he hasn't hit any of them yet, which is kind of a boon for Harrison.
Yeah. It is his route to victory for this to continue. All right, attack you for 2.
I'll put Andrew down to 15.
Big Daddy stinks.
Taking 3 damage to cast a 1/2. This is not going to be a viable strategy.
Chimney Imp you, bro.
2, 3, there we go, 1 creature. So it begins 1 Narcomoeba now in play for Andrew Johnson.
All right, that's a start.
So what Harrison can do, he has a Dark Blast in his hand. He can try to Dark Blast his own cards to get rid of Bridge from Belows, or he can try to Dark Blast the Narcomoeba. He kind of has to pick which way he wants to go about it.
I have to imagine killing the bridges is going to be important. You know, it's only a matter of time until Andrew's able to go off.
All right, can he draw the Nature's Claim? No, it is a City of Brass again. It's 4 lands to play for Harrison. All of them make him take a damage. He's going to Dark Blast, killing the Narcomoeba.
All right, aggro. I can respect that.
If he has no Nature's Claims in his list, this is correct.
Yes, I agree with that completely. He has no choice if he has no Nature's Claims.
Which, I mean, if he has no, the problem is, like I said, he's really having trouble racing himself right now.
Oh, actually, you know what? Leyline of the Void actually prevents
that
Bridge from being removed.
Okay, right, okay. You're right, there is no card in Harrison's graveyard, so he just can't remove the bridges from Andrew's deck.
Yeah, so that was his only play. And now we see a Bridge from Below hit and an Icarid, maybe even 2 it looked like.
Yeah, I believe it is 2 Icarids. So there will be some beats coming in next turn. We'll confirm on life totals here. I think Andrew may have taken a few more points last turn.
Yeah, looks like it. And now another Faithless Looting for Harrison.
So if he Faithless Lootings into a Nature's Claim right here, is it, are we close enough?
Is it enough?
Is it enough anymore? He's
Well,
played
he has-
out most of his dredgers.
He has a dredger and a breakthrough, so anything can happen.
Right, okay, he could mill his entire deck. And
Yeah. You know, if he hits a Grave Troll off that first dredge for 4, he can chain those pretty aggressively.
Yeah. Well, right now Andrew's at 12, so Harrison has him on a 3-turn clock. But as we know, Harrison's on a much quicker clock with those Icarids.
Yes.
The question is, how many more spells does Harrison cast? He kind of has a one-sided mana barbs in play.
Yep. And he's at a theoretical 3 right now with those R&D 2 Icarids.
What I really like, when I said these textures aren't playing fair, was that one deck has no lands in play, the other one has 4 lands in play and its own Burning Earth. It's no one's playing real,
Yeah.
magic by the rules.
Yeah, this is bizarre magic. Ooh, and that Narcomoebo should spell the game. That is the 3rd creature to start this. Oh, he missed the trigger.
Yeah, Narcomoeba not going to enter the battlefield. It looks like Andrew just missed that.
Awkward.
So, 1 Icarid's going to hit the graveyard. Unfortunately for Harrison, there are...
Are there 2 bridges? Oh, he missed those Icarid triggers. Oh, no, he did. Okay, so he's hitting the bridge trigger. The question is how many
Looks
zombies?
like there's 2 bridge from belows in
All right,
play.
that is enough.
So now, Dread Return will be cast, targeting Flayer of the Hatebound, and that'll be the game. Andrew
right.
Johnson wins 2 games to 1.
Woo!
So Harrison with an outstanding opening hand, unable to capitalize due to Leyline of the Void.
Which
And-
Andrew aggressively mulliganed to.
Yeah, he
and
mulliganed you
correctly
a
so.
5-card hand on the draw with Leyline and no lands.